Neruda. Pablo Neruda is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reis Bosalto. He was born in 1904. Actually, he was a famous Chilean poet and a very famous diplomat politician also. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. He uses green ink, which is his personal symbol for desire and hope. His writings are very simple, it is very easy, and wherein lies the beauty of the poem. Originally, this poem also written in Spanish. The essence of this poem is based on introspection and retrospection. So, introspection is self-analysis and retrospection is the action of looking back. The poet feels that some soul searching is needed for us to be at peace with ourselves and others. First stanza. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let us not speak in any language. Let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So the poet asks us to count up to 12 in your mind. The number 12 represents, it can be the 12 numbers shown in the clock or the day or the months of the year also. He wants all of us to be calm. That means we have to be calm and still. People across the nations have to unite together, and so they shall not speak in their own languages. Rather, they all shall keep quiet and speak the language of silence. Thus, this will bring unity among all the humans. For at least one moment, no one shall move his arms either. That's what the poet is saying. So, any language, speak their own language. It can be spoken language or it can be an action language also. So, the poet is saying if you stop speaking, so there is an exotic moment is created. Exotic means unfamiliar, strange moment is created. So, even engines here means the machines, vehicles or the aeroplanes used, that also can be marked. Arms. Arms here means one is one of the body part, the other arm means weapons, arms and ammunitions used, that is also called arms. So, poet is again and again asking, we all have to retrospect, we all have to do the self-analysis, because we are all busy with our works. That way we are damaging ourselves as well as we are damaging the nature also. So, that is why he is asking, he is going to count up to 12 and we all have to keep quiet, we all have to remain quiet. That is what he is saying. The next stanza, it would be an exotic moment. Without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. So, it would be an exotic moment. Exotic moment means it would be an unfamiliar moment. So, we all have to be quiet. Then what will happen? When everything will come to a stand still, it will be a rare situation. No one will be in a rush. There will be no engines running. Everyone will be calm and quiet, united with each other in a strange atmosphere. It will create a strange atmosphere, no noise. It will be a strange because it has never happened earlier. Never it happened. No person would be harming any other living being either for food or to earn his livelihood. All the people who work endlessly will get some time to look at their injuries and the damage they have caused their body. Here it is mentioning about the people who are making salt. They are gathering salt and they are hurting their hands. If they stop their works, what will happen? They can just have a look, they can sit back and check their damage created by themselves. The fishermen in this cold sea, if they are not going for fishing, what will happen? It saves the lives of whales. That's what we saying. The poet is asking us to be what? Calm and quiet and be united each other in a and create a strange atmosphere, because it never happened earlier. That's why we all have to remain quiet. The third stanza, those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. Now the poet is asking about the people who are creating wars and damaging the environment. People who exploit the green wealth of nature by deforestation or mining, fishing in the seas, and the soldiers who use weapons to kill fellow human beings need some time to introspect into the consequences of their actions. So the people who are fighting, they have to sit back and see the results of their actions. That's why the poet is asking to remain quiet. They are merely doing their job or following their orders. He wants them to put on new clothes, that is to adopt a new approach towards life and to realize that killing so many people is not a victory. He is promoting brotherhood, peace and unity. He does not want us to stop our works, but to take some time and analyze the results of our deeds. He is saying that I am not asking you to stop everything. He is saying that you all have to stop things and just analyze what are the damage you are creating. That is the summary of third stanza. Next, the fourth one, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Again, this stanza also, again very simple language is used. All human beings work endlessly with the aim of completing all their tasks. We are all single-minded. We are not looking at others. We are very busy with our own work. They are driven by the target of survival and the threat of death. So they are in a mad rush to accomplish all their works. They are always busy with their works. That is, the poet says that perhaps if they pause for a while, they can appreciate their achievements and their lives would become happier. He suggests that by keeping quiet, we will be able to understand the true purpose of our life. Next stanza, perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. The poet suggests us to take a teaching from, you learn from nature. What is the learning you have to take from the nature? As the earth undergoes changes, because a lot of seasons are coming, the winter season, spring season, isn't it? So in winter, everything freezes and becomes lifeless. But after some time, the season changes again and everything comes back to life. Similarly, taking a pause and introspecting into our lives will give it a new meaning. We will be able to understand the purpose of our life. So we are continuously working, you stop it, then you introspect, then you change it. That's what who is asking to do? The poet is asking us to do. It will be like a rebirth of the soul. He walks out of saying, after saying this, he is saying, I am going to count up to 12 and he will walk out of the scene, keeping the scene open for all the people on the earth to experience this for times to come. Let all the people experience. Let all the people remain quiet and let them introspect. Then they can also experience the strange situation. That's what who is saying? The poet is asking us to do. So perhaps you can learn a lot of things from whom? From the earth. Next, the poetic devices used in this lesson. Let us have a look. The first line. The poetic devices used. Just have a look. In the first line, there is no poetic device, and we will all keep still. There it is, alliteration. And for once on the face of the earth, there it is, O is, vowel sound O is repeatedly used, so it is alliteration, and F is repeatedly used, so it is alliteration, and he is not speak in any language. There it is, no FOS. The next one is the most important one, that is pun. What is pun? Pun is here the word arms. Arms is what? The body part. Another meaning is also there for arms, that is the weapons. What is a pun? The same spelling but different meanings. If any word is having, that is ARMS, arms means what? One body part. The other one is called what? The other one is the weapons, that is called pun. When there is more than one meaning in the same word, it is called pun. So there what is used there? There it is, pun is used. Then in the next line, that is without rush and without engines. The word without is repeatedly used, so the FOS is repetition. Here the alliteration is also there because W is repeatedly used. Then in the next stanza, fishermen in the cold sea, there a new FOS you are learning, that is called, now it is not new, I already discussed with you in that class, that is called the transferred epithet. Epithet means adjective. When an adjective is transferred from its proper word to another that is closely associated with it in the sentence, it is called transferred epithet. Once again I will repeat, when an epithet means adjective is transferred from its proper word to another that is closely associated with it in the sentence, it is called transferred epithet. If you will say, she passed a sleepless night, the night is not sleepless, she is sleepless, isn't it? So the adjective sleepless is actually for whom? For her, not for the night. So in this way, an adjective is transferring from its proper word to another word, then it is called transferred epithet. Here you see cold sea. Sea is not cold. Here the fishermen who will remain cold because they are not doing any work. There it is, transferred epithet. Then in the next page, you take the next page, last line, sorry, in the same page only, last line, again alliteration, would look at his hurt hands. There it is, alliteration. Then I think I don't have to tell you again and again for the alliteration. So we are going to begin with the short composition, that is invitation. So generally invitations we used to draft for inviting people for the functions. There are two different types of invitations are there. One is formal invitation, the other one is informal invitation. First we are going to begin with formal invitation. So total marks is 3 marks. Last year it used to be 4 marks, now they reduced, it is 3 marks. So first format is 1 mark, content 1 mark and expression 1 mark. And what now, let us see formal invitation. I said there are two different types of formal invitations are there. One is printed, that is printed card, generally for the marriages and school annual function, and all we used to draft a card, that is called formal, printed cards, that is formal, that comes under the formal invitation. Then again, if you are inviting a person for judge a competition in the school, then also we have to give them what? The invitation. That will be in the letter format. Clear? So first we will begin with the formal invitation. So inviting a personality as a judge to a school, that's also formal only. but not the card form. It will be in the letter format. Clear? First, let us see the format of the invitation. There are two different types. One is formalized, that is printed, and informal. When you draft a formal invitation, it has to be written in third person, and abbreviations are avoided. You cannot use short forms except RSVP. What is meant by RSVP? Reply if you please. If it is a French word, full form of RSVP is Respondus Silvus Plate. And you had seen the RSVP in the corner, left corner of the card, along with the name of the host. Then subject matter in the sender. We use only the sender portion of the card while writing the subject matter. So just remember about any marriage invitation. So it is to be written in the sender only. And if any function, if you are calling or inviting any VIP, you have to write his designation and name. And the tense we have to use is simple present tense. You know that what is simple present tense? Subject plus first form of the verb. And the formal invitation, it has to be inside a box. And last I told you, along with the RSVP, we have to write the what also? The name of the host also. So let us draft a formal invitation, that is printed invitation. So for that, you please note down the question. You are a student of Nilgiri Public School, Ooty. The school is holding its annual function. Write an invitation on behalf of the principal of your school, inviting the important persons of the town to attend the function to be held on August 28, 2020 at 10 a.m. Clear? Now how can we draft the invitation? I told you it has to be written inside the box. You must have noticed here the subject matter is written in the sender. It has been displayed very neatly. Otherwise, if you are not writing or drafting the invitation very neatly, you will lose your marks for expression. So the principal and the staff of, you must have seen different size of letters I had used. Nilgiri Public School, Ooty. So the important, the particular institution, that's why it is written in capital letters. Nilgiri Public School, Ooty, request your benefit presence on the auspicious occasion of the annual function of the school at 10 a.m. on August 28, 2020. Mr. R.K. Srinivasan, IAS, will be the chief guest. Now, you just see RSVP. What is the meaning of RSVP? Reply if you please. And then principal, Nilgiri Public School. That is the name of the host, Ooty. Clear? There is no unnecessary things included. That is inside the box. It is drafted. This is the formal invitation. If you are drafting an invitation for your marriage letter, I think you can all draft your own marriage invitation. So then it will be how it will be write. You will write how it will. You will write this: Mr. and Mrs. Your father's name request the pleasure of your company in the auspicious occasion of the marriage of their daughter/son. Isn't it? Then you have to write the venue. Then you have to write the date, time, everything. And then RSVP. Then dear and near ones. Generally in the marriage invitations, dear and near ones is to be written. I hope you understood. Next we are going to start with formal invitation only, but in the letter format. How will you do it? Let us see. The next question. The literary club of your school is putting up a play, Waiting for Godot. As the secretary of the club, that is you are Gauri, as the secretary of the club, draft an invitation inviting the famous writer Sudesh Gupta to be the guest of honor at the function. Write the invitation in not more than 50 words. You can write either Gauri or Govind. So this is actually a board question, 2014. This was asked. How will you write? Now one we had done in the printed card. Now this is a letter format. Just see, Anshul Public School, Lucknow. So the address you have written, that is the from address. Then you are writing the to address, that is Mr. Sudesh Gupta, 37 Greater Kailash, New Delhi. Now you have to write the date as a formal letter. How will you draft? Same way. The from address, then the to address, then the date, then the subject. Invitation to be the guest of honor. Then the subject, salutation, sir. The Literary Club of our school is putting up a play, Waiting for Godot, on 25th August 2020 from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So when is it? The date, the time, at our school premises. Where it is? It is at the school premises. We shall be highly obliged to you if you could kindly spare time from your busy schedule to be the guest of honor. Thanking you, yours sincerely, Gauri or Govind, Secretary. Clear? So you are starting with the from address, then you will write the to address, then the date, subject, salutation, the content. So it has to be written in only in 50 words. You have to be very careful in the content. You have to write the function and the purpose of invitation you will be writing, and which date, what time it is, where it is going to be held. Then closing the letter, thanking you and the yours sincerely. Then you will write the name given in the question paper and the designation. This is also what only the formal invitation, but it is the format is letter format. Clear? Now we are going to do with the informal invitation. Next we are going to begin with the informal invitation. Informal invitation, what are the things you have to remember? It has to be written inside the box only, but it is to be letter format, and first person narration can be done, and date, time and venue has to be written. So let us begin with a question. You are Namita or Namit has come out a successful in 12th examination. He has decided to organize a party for his friends. Draft an informal invitation in about 50 words giving details of venue, time and date. So how will you make the invitation? How will you draft the informal invitation? See, the first you are writing only from address. So informal invitation we will not write the which address, to address. The from address is given, then dear friends. Clear? Here I missed one, that is the date. That is you have to write 20th August 2020. So then salutation, dear friends. You will be pleased to know that I have cleared my class +2 examination with 96% marks and have been declared a city topper. To celebrate the occasion, please join me for a small get-together on 26 August 2020 at my residence at 7 p.m. Hope you will surely come and be part of my celebration. Yours loving friend, Namita. Clear? You have to be, it has to be inside the box. Once again I repeat the format. Informal invitation you have to write in a letter format, and first person narration can be done. Date, time and venue should be mentioned in the content part, and only the from address will be written, then the date will be written, then the informal salutation. Clear? Then you can write, if you have the name of the friends, you can write the name of the friend. Then the content, inside the content you have to write the date, you have to write the venue, you have to write the time. Then closing, you see it is informal only. Yours, your loving friend, or yours lovingly, the name of the person who is drafting the letter has to be written. This is informal. So let us summarize the invitation. How will you draft the invitation? First, these invitations are two different types. One is formal invitation, the other one is the informal invitation. Formal invitation is to be generally printed ones. Some of them are card type and some of them are printed letter format. So that those two examples we had written, and there we don't use the first person in the formal invitation, we use the third person narration is to be used. It has to be inside the box only, name of the host will be written, and avoid using the abbreviation except the RSVP will be mentioned. Clear? It has to be in the formal invitation, we use the simple present tense. Clear? And even in the formal invitation, one is in the letter format also we can draft. Next is informal invitation. Informal invitation is to be always in the letter format. First person narration can be done. Date, time and venue should be written. In the informal invitation, when you write in the letter format, only the from address will be mentioned. I hope you understood. Now we have to learn the replies to the invitation in the next class. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you.